Oh, I do vocal warm-ups though.
So what do you do for vocal warm-ups?
I do this thing that I just keep repeating. QEQR.
QEQR.
Yeah.
So what? Okay, so I don't do a lot of vocal warm-ups.
Are we starting?
Yeah, we have started.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't do a lot of like a warm-up kind of thing for my stuff. So you can hear my voice like a little bit like rugged. I'm not so sure that that's a good word to use, but it's kind of like off the it's kind of rough. And there's a lot of like a weird thinking process along the way. At least that's what I do in my podcast. I'm not so sure whether you agree.
I just think it's very you. Yeah. As in, how to say, like when people put on like an act or what, right? Then for example, when I do my live streams and stuff like that, they definitely like some of the audience actually got me in real life also, so they will feel like there is a difference between how I sound and perform on the stream and then in real life there's a difference. Yeah.
Did they tell you like what is the difference?
They just say like I am a bit more quiet when I'm with them, like not so hype. Then most of the reason is because also like nowadays like very scared gonna cancel. Like even if I like bring them to my place and they want to play mahjong, right? Although a lot of my audience is just like aunties, then I also scared like if I'm really myself, where I am like much younger than them, then if like I behave myself, then they get offended. Then it might bring this like negative innotation to all the whatever brands that I'm supposed to sell. Yeah, then very careful. You know the Jeff Ng thing?
Yeah. I do not know what's the whole situation, but that I'm just as confused as like the whole saga.
I think correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's just an artist with a lot of problems. But because he's a very small artist back then, so all these problems can be effectively hidden away. Then when he is begin to pop off, right? And I mean he does sing well and stuff like that, and then he does have the looks. But then it's kind of when he pop off, then people start to give him praises, then all the victims of his antics in the past come back to bite him in the ass.
Okay, so what did he do exactly? Okay, this is what I got very confused about because I didn't really follow Jeff Ng. So all I know is he posted something very, very negative when he was like in the olden like in his younger days.
I think there were a lot more things. I think there was an issue about like him cheating on his girlfriend, but then in a way like gaslight the girlfriend to the point she thinks that it's okay to like. I didn't really read. I mean, I only read about the post like yesterday from as of this recording. Like he will gaslight, like super possessive of his girlfriend, gaslight her, and then like in a way whereby control her movement and stuff like that, to the point whereby when the girlfriend is in his house, she has to hide in another room. Then he will bring another girl into another room and proceed to do whatever dating couples do in that room while his original girlfriend is in the room and stuff like that. But I think since then, yesterday, my wife told me like on Mothership, right, that he has written an apology. But in a way, it's like that, like just you want to create. Then in some sense, you want to get like famous, right? When you get famous, not really because you want to get famous, or more of like you want this like vindication that you succeed already, right? But it's just sometimes you're scared.
But the problem is how, like, okay, so I don't understand why Jeff Ng got famous. Like, I do not know him until like this whole saga started.
I think he's just a busker and then sing very nice. Then people just sit around the public scene like, ooh, this guy sings very nice. And then by word of mouth, then more and more and more. Definitely like him being easy on the eyes will help. Yeah. So it slowly it became a thing. And I think it was also in conjunction with the fact that COVID is dying down. So busking is back. And then when busking is back, right, people can like go to this public area where you can take off masks and then you just look and hear him sing. Yeah, so slowly then it become like, how to say, like it became viral. Yeah. I mean, I think like literally just, if I'm not wrong, according to the timeline, right, like just before Jeff Ng pops out, right? Yeah, just before Jeff Ng popped out, the Beats uncle died, what? So I think there was a correlation, like in terms of like these viral scenes, like the Orchard Road Beats uncle passed away.
Yeah.
That's always say, oh, you see this Jeff Ng, wow, outside Cathay 很多人看 So yeah, it's like that lor.
Okay, so this is what I think about viral stuff. It's always like you're always filling up someone's hole. Like there's always like when something dies, the other one just filling up the hole of something else.
Yeah.
And if that other person don't die or whatever happened, maybe dying is not a good word, but it's more like if that other person didn't move on, then there's no hole. Then it's like it's still everyone's still get caught in the.
I agree with you. Back then when I was like doing YouTubes, right, and then I kind of have a formula back then for a viral video. How should it be look like? First, I think there should be 3 points about how to create a viral video. Number 1, it can be easily recreated. Number 2, it has to be short and easy to understand. Then the last one is supposed to give like a quick catharsis. Yeah, so this is what I feel back then how to create a viral video and that's why TikTok is easily viral because it hits all these 3 points. Back then when we were trying to do, and when I say back then, it's like when YouTube is not about making super long form content back then. When YouTube is about like making a short 3-minute video that will make like millions of views, that kind. So right now TikTok achieve all that with just an ad.
But I think that TikTok, I am not so sure whether the algorithms work, but this is what I've observed because I do also post videos up online. The sweet spot is somewhere after.
How do the audience follow you on TikTok? Shameless plug.
So it's like not again podcast guy. Okay. So it's more like the sweet spot is somewhere after 1 minute, after between 3 to 5 minutes. That's the sweet spot of mine. So it's like because most of like I realize like if I do reels, right, it'll be less than 1 minute. It will work better in Instagram. Then after that, if I were to work in TikTok, right, the views will generally be a lot lower compared.
Yeah, because TikTok, they want you to have this feeling of catharsis in like less than 30 seconds. I feel that is for TikTok.
Really?
Yeah, I feel.
But TikTok seems to be like the views for mine is slightly longer for 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's because mostly they establish that you know that you are a podcaster. So when you put on your TikTok, right, people know that this is a snippet of a podcast. So I think people naturally know that the content will be longer. Yeah, for me, I don't know. I'm a very narrative person. So my wife will always complain I'm very naggy one. Yeah. So in terms of like creating narrative, right, it's quite a big challenge for me to like create a story that can have all these things in like 30 seconds. Yeah. Then in some sense I have to work in the advertising industry a bit. Have to really hold on to see what people like, what people don't like.
Do you keep yourself how do you keep yourself updated in social media then? Like because for me, I live in I hate to say this, but I kind of live in the social media world. A little bit more than my peers, right? So I'm aware of like the social media trends a lot better compared to some of my peers who are like, and how like do you how do you live? Like, do you always keep in touch with the?
No, I think I'm vastly different from you. I'm more of the because I'm primarily still a video guy. So I always will just look at videos and then just internally ask myself if I can do that. And if I can do that, then how should I do it right now with the equipment that I have? For me, I mean, for me, it's also there's also the talk about like viral video or emotional videos and stuff like that, right? So I will watch those videos and then think to myself like, why is this piece of art working for me? Then I will try to reverse engineer it and then keep it to my vocab. of like, okay, maybe when a next project come up, I can do this and that, this and that, this and that. So for me, my head is very project based. Like, so I think I work best. The way I can present my work best is when somebody comes to me and be like, hey, I want to do a video for this thing. And can you give me an idea how to do it? Then I'll be like, okay, I can do it. And then if it's in trend, then it's in trend. If it's not in trend, it's more of like whether I believe in something or not. Yeah. So that's mostly me. So and it's but in hindsight, it's also very difficult to work with bosses that is like if they just see me as an extension of their arms. Yeah, because especially in Singapore, I find the culture is very different because when people ask a video creator to create a video, right, they don't really respect us as the artists. It's more of like a lot of the bosses I met have the mentality of I didn't have time to pursue art last time. Now I have my own company, I want to make video. So I will use my money, hire you, and then you do the things that I want. Yeah, but sometimes you need to understand that what you like what you think is good sucks. Yeah, that's the reason why people really like devote their time that you didn't wish to devote your time to study why things are good. Yeah, you cannot then. Whereas when you go to other country and you work for them, right? When you work for bosses, right? But those bosses are really like, you know what? Let me give you this budget. I want to have this thing. I have seen your previous work. So I want it similar to this. Or if you can make it even better, make it even better. Like I trust that your work is like that. Yeah. And it's this very, I think it's a very big cultural thing.
Is it very common in? I suppose it's very common in Singapore.
Oh, super common. Yeah, it's super common in Singapore whereby creative artist, you don't need to be, bless you, you don't need to be just a video creator. You can be a graphic artist, you can be a sound engineer and stuff like that. And then people, like, you dedicate your time and your effort into honing this craft. I see them as craftsmen, by the way. So you hone all these craftsmen, and then after that, people with money come over and then they be like, can you do this for me? And then you do. But then they basically want to hold your hand and do it. So these bosses, like, they can feel shook and think themselves as, oh, I'm also the artist. Then they'll turn back and say, video making very easy one. Yeah, which not correct but met a lot of time.
I think they don't have technical knowledge, but they also want to. They also take. There's a lot of ignorance in whatever things that people try to do.
It's like, it's very equivalent to saying, because that's how people view art, by the way. To me, it's the much equivalent of saying that I have my house, right? I have a switch that is faulty, right? Correct. I can go to YouTube and learn how to fix a switch. Okay, but if it's a water heater switch, you really dare to go to YouTube and watch, man? You want to hire a craftsman, correct? That is like legit, spend his whole years and his life learning, have all his his engineering thing. He got the LEW thing in Singapore, so that when you do the water heater, then nobody will die. This is how I see people in the art scene as well. Like we are craftsmen by nature. It's just that when we craft things, we are trying to express a message out. Yeah. And that's why I don't think that is like, even bad art is also art because it makes you feel something. Yeah, it's just saying like either, hey Gary, I love you, or hey Gary, fuck you. Yeah, you both feel something. It's just what you feel. Yeah, but in Asia or in Singapore in particular, it's more like the boss just like, you're basically my bitch. Go and do things. Yeah, this is how I feel.
I've done, like, I've do this, right? And I'm not so sure whether I don't think myself as an artist as much as I thought I will be, right? I'm just thinking along lines where I'm just a storyteller. I'm here to tell.
Same thing, man. That's why we click. Yeah.
So pretty much like, this is what I have, right? And based on the skills that I have, like, this is what I'm going to tell you and stuff like that. So, but I don't do much in a sense of, I don't consider myself as an artist in a sense of, I'm doing this thing to have a deeper message oh, it's like you can pick up anything you want, there you go for it, right? And I think that people kind of forget how difficult it can be. Just and I think a lot of boss or a lot of people don't understand, right? To put out something out regularly, right? Be it like weekly, 2-minute video.
Yeah.
They only see it as 2-minute video.
Yeah.
They don't say like, oh, you need like for 2-minute video you need like 30 minutes of recording.
Yeah.
And with that 30 minutes of recording you need like at least 4 or 5 hours of like thinking through of like how to do it, how to implement it, how to like the whole storyboarding, like the whole idea behind it.
Correct.
So everyone was like, oh, 2-minute video, very easy. You just put 2 minutes. Just like 2 minutes of recording of what?
Correct. It's like, I don't know, when you were saying this, it reminds me of back then when I was doing YouTube with a bunch of friends. Yeah, back then we really, I think we put in about 2 years, 1 year to 2 years. We were all working. So this YouTube thing, we decided to do it as a side hustle. The channel still exists. It's just that we are not uploading things anymore. Everybody has moved on. Which is quite a vindication because the moment I say I don't want to do this YouTube anymore, then everybody don't do it. But back then, I think we really had. The word hustle haven't appeared yet. So it was like, I was working in a production studio. Then at night, right? Then we'll meet. We all will meet in some dingy office space in Racecourse Road, Little India. The founder of the YouTube channel, right? Like his father has a glass door company, not the website, but literal make glass door one. Then it's a dingy construction space. Then Bangla workers will sleep at the back room of the corner. Then we in front will have all 5 of us will sit in front of a MacBook. Like a MacBook, right? And then we'll just think of ideas, then we're going to do. Then by Sunday, right, on the weekend we will shoot. Then on the weekday after work we'll go down and then we'll edit. Then we upload. Then we upload weekly. We did that for 1 year. Yeah, like I think my relationship also suffered. Like your work life, like really no work life balance. And then we were like, there were results. Because back then, YouTube in Singapore is like you just bring girls in, just show a bit on there, and people will watch already. Yeah, but then there was a divide in the group. There was a divide. Like, the founder wanted the channel to become something like an agency, similar to what like Jian Hao Tan does. Then, but for me and some of the people, right, is we want to start to create like more deeper meaning narrative, which the views will drop one. Yeah, because not everybody like to watch short films, but I keep wanting to do short films. So the divide got bigger and bigger and bigger. Then it doesn't help back then because we are not super famous as in compared to like all the other YouTube accounts in Singapore, right? But the girls, I sound like a pimp, but our girls top notch, man, top shelf. Yeah, so like top shelf in terms of looks and in terms of character as well. But then people start to poach our girls. Yeah, like I think I dare to say like I will call this girl Kong Jie. Yeah, she's an air stewardess, and then she is one of the now she become property agent already. But back then she was like one of the girls to appear, and then she's very pretty. Definitely the figures her figure quite good, but she's one of a person that I really respect a lot because back then in the industry, right, my then girlfriend was like insecure about me doing all these things, so I would bring her along. Then sometimes the other girls in the shoot, right, will know that my girlfriend is not an influencer, not important one. Then really don't make friends with her, except for this Kong Jie. Yeah, the first shoot sit beside her and then just chit chat with her, like with her as a friend. Then the moment I see already, I know like, yeah, this person is a good person. Then that was before there was this creator called Eden Ang. Before he got me too, right? Before he got me too, right? We already know about his things already. Because this Kong Jie got give me her messages and show me like, hey, you see this guy. And back then Kong Jie was with her current husband already lah. Then it's like the way he asked her out, very weird lah. Yeah, so there was all this weird thing on. Like there are also a lot of like big YouTubers will go clubbing, right? And then some girls from some big channel will really go like, why you all work in this channel? They also never pay you, just come join us. That kind of thing. Then some want to join, some don't want. But to me, it's like the most important one was there was these two girls. One is there's these three girls. One is Kong Jie. Kong Jie just like a lawyer. She just want to do. Then after that, so really respect that person. Then second one, asked me for permission to join Jian Hao Dan. Then I like, bro, you don't need to ask me for permission. Like we really never pay you. Yeah, but then I think like out of the respect, I really respected that. Then the third one was
do we know her? Do I know her?
I don't know whether I could share here, but I can tell you later. I got introduced you this person to for another TV integration. For another TV thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I got tell you that account before.
Okay.
Yeah, I have. Then this third one is like model. Then her whole life she just think that her value is got IT show, go IT show, be model, got car show, go car show, be model, that kind. Then she quite tall, then quite busty one. Like the moment I take photo, like Photoshop her as a thumbnail, people click already. This is back then it was those thing but then she suddenly one day she tell me say she want to be a scriptwriter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then I really taught her how to write a script. Then we really did a short film about a gay coming out. Then I think after that, she was so motivated by the whole process of making a short film, right? I think she went to study, and then now she's like an editor for a magazine.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she did told me like she really wanted, like she thought her value was just in her figure. Then she would want to have this like empowerment or whatever, but she don't know where to go. Then I said, what you really want to do? She said she wanted to write. She wanted to be a poet or whatever. I said I cannot be a poet but I can help you write a script. I go through with you the process of writing a script. And then my wife will know I fucking hate writing. Serious. Like during scripting, right? Like if I idea in my head, right, I will just tell her, then she type. I can teach you the formatting or whatever. I really hate, like, I love art, I love making films. O levels I take literature. I never write a single sentence for my O levels. I just stare at the football field. Because I hate writing. I think I have this bad habit when I write, right? I put a lot of force. Then my 我的手会酸. Then I like then I just like never write.
I'm the kind who writes a lot. Like I remember like
but you're stand-up comedian, so you probably will.
Yeah, like but this is what I like. This is how I map out my ideas, right? I'll just like keep like going to the idea itself and just keep circling back to the idea.
Okay.
And see how things can further.
Do you study the mechanics of your jokes?
No,
like, do you study mechanics of it, or it's more of like, I have this thing, then it leads to this thing, then bam, punchline. Then how do I make that?
More of mine is like, here's a joke, here's an idea, and I'll ask myself, why do I feel so passionately about that idea? And then I'll just figure out like if my idea will be very will we be like very narrative driven, or is there like a real message at the back? So like
if it's narrative driven, will you do it?
Yeah.
If it's like deeper meaning,
I have a few jokes that goes like deeper meaning in a sense. So this is one joke that I've been trying to do recently. So, but it's like it's a very fucked up emotion behind it. So, the whole basis of that joke is just, so this is just joke breaking down jokes. So for me, the idea of that joke is like you cannot, no matter what you do, right? It's kind of like fucked up in a sense where, because someone say they have a plan for you, and if you don't follow that plan, you're basically fucked, right? But if you follow that plan, you have to play a villain, right?
Play a villain. Okay.
Yeah, in that whole story, right? Then you are also fucked because you cannot go, because you're just trying to aim to the.
It's like 无间道.
Yeah. So I have this joke that goes like where Adolf Hitler, like meaning go up to
heaven. You really just go Hitler. You just go straight to Hitler.
Yeah, like that's the worst person to be, right? So I'm thinking along they say God has a plan for all of us, right? God has a plan. So and then if heaven is really the place as it advertised, right? So can you just imagine like Hitler go up to the pearly gates of heaven and just ask God like, hey, can I enter heaven now? And God was like saying, no, because you kill Jews, right? Because you kill people.
I think correct.
Then after that, Hitler was like, but isn't that what God's plan is? Like they plan out everything. Like I'm just part of a pawn of your big plan, right? And God was like saying, yeah, that's true, but you still kill a lot. You still kill people. Mm-hmm. Then Hitler has this, and then I'm thinking along the lines where Hitler is just like the most like that I should have chosen LaSalle, like going to art school because of his background,
Yeah.
So
but didn't he fail as an artist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Jews, the reason why he killed a lot of Jews is because of the failure of artists, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to figure out like along the lines where how do I, like, at the end of the day, he still have to follow the rule. He still have to follow the God's plan.
The funny thing is when you say that, right? Like actually, biblically in the doctrine that I learned or the theology, it actually makes sense. Yeah, because in the history of the Bible, right? Actually, ever since like Adam and Eve, right? First we must understand, like in the Bible, there is these two races, like the Jews and the Gentiles. Basically, Gentiles means not Jews, right? So, even in Christianity, Jews are the people of God. They are like Abraham's children, right? So, but the Jews are basically always lost, like always need deliverance, always need to be helped and delivered, right? But they are also mightily blessed by God. But this is my opinion of the Bible, which I learned. It's just that I realized that even throughout the history of time, right, from the Bible or even in real life, when Jews are being punished, right, or persecuted or like punished by God, let's just say the reason why Hitler decided to murder like 2 million Jews is because like let's just say this is an act of God, right? But whenever Jews are being persecuted, right, it will always be persecuted by the Gentiles, the not Jews. Then when Jews are being blessed, right, it's always a direct blessing from God. Yeah, this is what I believe in, but the opposite is also the truth. Like when the Gentiles are being persecuted, right, or being punished by God, it was always by God himself. This is how I feel. Like natural disasters, stuff like that. You walk out on the road, like just strike you, that kind. But when they were being blessed by God, the Jews were blessed the Gentiles because they are God's children, So this is how I feel when you tell me about the Hitler thing. But I mean, it's very funny, because I don't know. I just watched this movie called RRR, which I heavily recommend people to watch on Netflix. There's a suicide bomb scene, but the context is because India was being colonized and they want to free India, right? So this guy surrendered himself with hand grenades, and then a child soldier shoot the grenade, and the guy exploded. But before I watched RRR, I was actually in a very heavy war movie binge. I was watching like Black Hawk Down, Saving Private Ryan, or I was watching the 13-hour Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, all these things. Then you start to see suicide bombers and like I was looking at suicide bombers, looking at child soldiers. I just watched Blood Diamond again. So there was a child getting kidnapped and trained to become a child soldier. They want to liberate like Somalia Sierra Leone. But then the India thing, but because it's a Bollywood movie, the child is the 主角 because they in the end India was free from colonization. So the child soldier and the suicide bombing is justified.
Yeah.
It's damn fucked up, don't you think? So yeah, what you say is correct. Like the villain thing, like if you do you go by the plan, you're fucked. You go against the plan, like
You're also fucked. Like
you went against Geneva Convention to get your country liberated. Like if nowadays, if let's just say some other random country invade us, then the only way to save Singapore again, you think Lee Kuan Yew will allow child soldiers? I really don't know like let's just say I say Gary, you know what? Last hope already. Somebody took over Istana. Just use your car, strap some bomb, just drive in and boom.
I think it's possible that, but if you were to go until that way, it means
if we lost, we are the villain,
yeah.
right? If we lost, we are the rebels.
Yeah.
We are the terrorists.
Yeah.
Right. But if we won, then we are like the heroes of liberation.
Yeah.
Then and then at the end of the day, it's a moot point, right? It's really then at the end of the day, it's really like whether your God is the winner or not, or my God is the winner or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
So right now it's like the whole narrative itself is like you have to be like someone has to be the villain. Someone has to kill that amount of Jews. Someone has to do it.
Yeah.
It's a shit job, right?
Yeah.
But someone has to put it that way. So I have a lot more respect for Hitler.
Oh, dude. Are you farming viral clips? you farming clips, bro? No lah. I mean, okay, but say real one, what he do is definitely not correct.
Yeah.
Okay, like it's wrong, yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, I mean, say real one, the first book that I read and I cried was actually The Diary of Anne Frank.
Oh.
Yeah.
The censored one or the uncensored one? Like I
was a school kid, so what they gave me was probably the censored one. Yeah, so but when I read through Anne Frank, I mean, I honestly I think I was like 13, 14 years old. Then when I was reading Anne Frank, right, then I know it happened during World War II. She was hidden. But back then, like being a Singaporean school kid, the story has an end. Then the book just cuts because she was captured.
Yeah.
The book just cut. And then she was talking about like hopes and dreams. Then the book just cut. Then you'd be like, I mean, if
there's no closure.
Yeah, and then the term mindfuck haven't occurred to me yet. But it was such a mindfuck back then. Yeah, then I was realized that wow, this is how powerful stories can be. And in some sense, people need to go through shit times to come out with good stories. And then it's with the good stories people can either motivate you, crush you, confuse you, or give you like a deeper sense of meaning and purpose or encouragement.
This is what okay, I'm going through a lot of interviews. I'm going through a few interviews right now. And a few interviews that
You're talking about the podcast or job interview?
Like job interview.
Oh, okay.
So I even before that, right? I always tell the interviewer, hey, look, I can do stories, and stories are the one that motivates you, like to do whatever. I think it's more like emotional, like hook into like why you make a certain decision and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think people kind of appreciate that because they are like some of them. Oh look, it's great, but they get back up. But I think there's a huge amount of people who just don't appreciate the idea of like stories. And I think it's because they think when they think about stories, right? And this happened that I have gone through that phase as well. Like when I talk about stories, like a long time ago in a faraway land, like the kind of like concept of a story, to push it out there, and like how does that relate to the brand itself?
Yeah, but do you think it's also a bit like not to blame the government, but that is how we were brought up as students in Singapore?
I think so.
Because I have a good example. When I was in Sec 5, right? I failed my first O level, so I decided to buck up and be a good student. Right, and then that's when my grades improved, and then my teacher gave me a book. The book was The Kite Runner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you all should really read it, like if you all haven't read Kite Runner. But bro, that book it's not for a 16-year-old boy. Like there's scenes whereby there's racism, but the racism is more of like during the Afghanistan civil thingy between the Sunni and the Shiite Muslims, that kind of thing. Then there's like boy to boy rape in the book. Then people's concept, like I think people look at the storybook or it's just a storybook or 给小孩子 or storybook or give a young child. Because when I read the book, I damn stunned. There's like two best friends. One is like being outcasted and one is like a rich boy, right? Then this outcasted one always like very long suffering, very patient, but then was always persecuted to the point whereby a group of boys drag him and then like have sex with him, like rape him. Then I read already. At first I don't understand it. Then I read again. Oh, I think they just had sex. That kind of thing. As a 16-year-old boy. So I think people really like, how to say I mean, it's quite intense when I read the book, but it's still a good read. Yeah.
I think that it's hard to find a good story nowadays.
What makes you say that?
I think that it's either you are going, okay, this is what I think about stories in a sense where sometimes when you want to tell a good story, people right now, you either go towards the Avengers version of the story, where you just need capture attention. Like there's this one small beef about that I have with Avengers.
MCU in general? Or?
MCU in general. Yeah. In a sense where it's there's a template going on. Okay, and it's always like it's very bright. It's very like there's a lot. It grabs attention. Sometimes it so much that it dilutes the story. Then you have the DC version of the story where it's always so dark. Where it's always like, oh, it's either someone died, it's either one of your parents died. Then you have to like keep like, the whole emotional there's no in between.
I understand. Actually, I myself is a DC fan. Comic book wise. Yeah.
So I guess it's like the whole the whole capturing of story right now is just like it's very divided.
But I think because the bright end thing is easier to market, because parents can watch it, child can watch it. I think it's the rule of the cinema in a way, because it's very marketable. That's why you can earn more money.
But it's still sometimes it's too goofy that it just sucked me out of the whole story itself. I got turned off with I know a lot of people would disagree with me this, but I got turned off with which movie is the Chris Pratt? Galaxy of the
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I just got sucked out of the movie very quickly and
the first one or the second one? Both. Both. Oh.
Like it's just like it's too goofy. It's too goofy in a way that it's just I can't engage in the story.
So you like superhero movies that are like very.
I like
dark and gritty.
Not just dark and gritty. I don't like the new. I don't like the Spider-Man, but Superman versus
Batman.
Yeah.
I mean that one everybody know is just milking because Civil War did very well I think so I think the MCU thing is more of, at least until Phase 3 ends it's more of like a dream come true for a lot of comic book nerds, whereby you can see all your favorite superheroes appear on screen. And the story that they chose is a bit more safer because it's easier to market. And then, how to say, that's the bad thing about Batman, I feel. Because every single freaking Batman movie, right, they want to show like the death of Martha and Wayne. Martha and Thomas Wayne. So, because it's a very compelling backstory. But then, for MCU side, right, their origin story is not so dark. It's more of like things do get dark in the Marvel comics, but then it's always towards the end.
But Nolan
one was the best.
Nolan one is the best.
Yeah, the Dark Knight was my like comic book movie, like one of the top 10. I won't even say top 10, easily top 3.
Yeah.
It's so I also have another hot take. I don't like the Joker, the movie.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think as a Batman fan, I think that movie sucked.
Which one, the Nolan's Joker?
No. Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it badly misrepresented Joker as a character itself.
I don't like.
If that movie itself, right, you don't put Thomas Wayne, you don't put like the guy is the Joker itself, but it's just a guy losing his sanity and he's there to like fuck society and gonna fight back. That story itself is a great story. But it's not Joker's story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my only issue is with that. The whole cinematic language of Joker, right, is actually freaking awesome. Like if you were to watch it again, right, you can see it one. Like why the staircase dance scene so legendary? Or if you think about it, right, like without context, it's just a guy in clown makeup dancing down the stairs. But if you were to watch the movie from the beginning to the end, right, every time when he wants to do something right, he's climbing upstairs. When he wants to do things the right way, to confront things, it will always be shot on staircases that is going up. When he went to look for Thomas Wayne and be like, hey, you are my father, although he's not really but he's being lied to his abusive mama, he want to do things the right way, he walked up the stairs of the theater. Then when people bully him at first, when he run away, he run upstairs. When he just killed the 3 idiots on the train, then he's like, he very scared. Then he was running upstairs. Every time he lost, like he's going quote insane. He's actually climbing downstairs. From the show itself, like the moment he got fired, then he's like, I fuck you all, that kind of thing. Then he hit the thing, he's walking downstairs. That's why the staircase shot when he's dancing going to the Robert De Niro thing was so iconic. It's because he really descend into madness already. That concept itself visually is awesome. But it's not the Joker. Yeah. To me, the Joker is always the one bad day thing. That one is, I think, still the best lah.
The comic book itself, I think there's just one thing that I don't really like about the Joker, because they fix a backstory towards the Joker.
Yeah, he's not, man. He's a.
I think you do not. I think the reason why they fix the Joker, right, is they want everything to make sense.
Yeah, I think it's more of like, although I think I don't know how to say this word, by canon there is no backstory.
Yes.
But a lot of fans accepted the one bad day
Yeah.
concept of the Joker, whereby he's a failed stand-up comedian, then he want to pay money, so he put on the red hood. Then after that, they fight with Batman halfway, puts Xiao Xing, drop into a vat, and then because of one bad day, he decided to become a Joker and then just be an agent of chaos. But the thing about Joker is like he's almost like a element. He has no end game. Maybe his end game is I just want to get Batman to kill me. Because if Batman kills me, then I win. And this is the best. This is like
the flip of the joke that I thought about for Hitler. Where if he kills the Joker, if Bruce Wayne kills the Joker, if Batman kills the Joker,
he solved the problem, but he lost the
whole plot.
He lost the argument. You know what I'm saying? Because if he killed the Joker, it's akin to like, I cannot win you in an argument. I just slap your face and let me you shut the fuck up. So it's that's why when I watch the Joker with my wife, I'm like, it has a bad taste in my mouth. Like cinematically, the movie, the story, it's a great movie. It's just not the Joker. I will have this disgust when people is like, oh, Joker is such a great Batman movie. Then I'm like, no, it's not. It's like, no, it's not. In fact, the what's his name, Robert Pattinson one, the Batman, actually not bad.
Really,
To say real one, actually it's not bad.
I've not seen that movie.
Just cast away your prejudice of like Twilight, and just watch him. Like serial, like just watch him. Like must understand that he is not experienced. He's not the experienced Batman like Christian Bale or Ben Affleck. Really, he is the still just come out, just train, then like emo kid still upset like his parents died, that kind. And then definitely you can see like Alfred has a bit more authority over him.
I thought that means that the Gotham, because I've not seen Robert Pattinson's, but I do have
You can
this
watch it on
impression.
HBO. HBO, please sponsor this podcast.
I got a few contacts.
Hey,
So,
nice.
but the Gotham one, the Gotham.
The TV series?
Yeah, the TV series.
Uh-huh.
If that's the case, it should be a little bit more similar to the TV series version.
Yeah, it looks a little like if Gotham TV series is concluded already, then Robert Pattinson will be like, a bit like that. Lor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whereby Alfred is very badass, and then he definitely cares for Bruce, and is okay with Bruce. Because in some sense, it's also damn insane. Let's just say, if I got money like Bruce Wayne.
But then again, it's a major change when it comes to character development for Alfred as well.
Yeah.
It takes me quite a long while to accept the idea of like Alfred
Alfred is like ex-SAS soldier,
Yeah.
ex-Special Force soldier,
Yeah.
then yeah.
It's like the Joker. Like Joker itself, I think that you should stay by canon where Frank Miller shouldn't have added like a backstory for that one back day, because I think that with Joker itself, because it's an agent of chaos. It's like you should like the whole back. I think Nolan did that well as well, where
Joker has no beginning.
has no beginning,
just-
has no end.
Yeah, he's just I've watched a lot of YouTube videos about like the whole like the ideology behind like why Christopher Nolan's Joker worked, and then it was always because of like I wish I did I didn't know we were going to go out to this topic. If not, I would have like made sure I know the terms. But it's basically it's almost the reason why the Joker is like that, right? Or like Heath Ledger's Joker is like that is honestly because it's almost by nature, whereby human society will want to balance itself out. The fact that Christian Bale's Batman want to almost entirely take out the bad guys, so the bad guy he's at this level of quote good lah, right? So in order for nature to balance itself out, it needs a Joker, lor. Yeah. So it's almost, I think I find it very poetic that it's almost as if like it's because Batman existed, that's why Joker existed.
There's always a hole lah.
Yeah, it's always a yin and yin and yang. That's why A Bad Day was so good because I think the reason why A Bad Day was so good, right, it's not because like, they created an origin story for Joker, but it's because how he leads, how he want to make people, how he want to prove his point, right? I think if I don't remember wrongly, it is in A Bad Day that Joker killed Robin, yeah, because he want to kill Robin and then he paralyzed Barbara Gordon, but then after that so that she's no longer Batgirl, she become Oracle because Barbara Gordon is Jim Gordon's daughter, right? So he want to make Jim Gordon like become like him also. Like one bad day, you will become like me also. Don't like put yourself so high and mighty. And then Batman had to like fight. Then he hit the end, and then when he hit the end, right, Joker tells him the joke. Like they fucking tired already, right? Then Joker tells him the joke, but then Batman laugh. Right, so then it ends like that. So I think everybody liked that part of the story.
Oh yeah.
But in order for that story to work, right, like one bad day, Joker has to go through one bad day. Then I think majority of Batman fans accepted that as the origin story is because this whole one bad day story was very nice. That people enjoyed it. And then they don't even begrudgingly accept it. They're like, you know what? It could be because he had one bad day. And that is the origin that I can come up with. I can okay to accept. Yeah, because it's very true to how Joker is as a character. Yeah.
I think okay. This is what I think about like Frank Miller. I think Frank Miller got a lot like exercise, open air quotes exercise when it comes to stories like that. Because he wrote the Daredevil where he donned the red suit, right, where he questioned about religions and stuff like that.
He's just very cheap, but put it in a. He's very cheap, but then he wraps it with superheroes. Yeah, then so for fans to read, I particularly enjoyed it more than Marvel one. Yeah. I like to be honest, I also like the whole reason I like Marvel a lot, right, was because of Civil War. That was to me is like their method of like trying to put some real life like real life issues into
The
Civil War.
MCU one or the
Comic book one. The
comic
MCU one, the MCU Civil War, the reason quite lame. It's just you all need to be controlled. Right?
yeah.
But in the comic books, right, Civil War is basically is this thing. Civil War is basically, dude, you guys are superheroes, but then technically you guys are like citizens of Earth. You all honestly cannot just go around and save the world, but then you anyhow whack anything up. You know what? We want to register you. You need to review your identity.
Because that time
Then
was
keep it into a book.
The time was during the Patriot Act. It came out just on during
Correct.
the Patriot Act.
Yes. So they come up with like, you know what, to be a superhero you can be a superhero. You can be part of Avengers, you can be this and that. Okay? But you cannot be anonymous. So then there is these two sides of the camp. I say like for example, the famous one was Spider-Man, right? So when Spider-Man decided to be like, you know what, in order to protect people I love, I cannot show my face, that kind of thing. Whereas Iron Man is outwardly like, dude, like I'm Iron Man. And then Captain America is like the patriot thing, like no, this is my privacy. The whole reason I'm like whatever. So, but then when they fight, then people start to die in Civil War, and then Spider-Man went over to the other side, and then Spider-Man revealed himself, wearing the Iron Spider. Then he say, "I'm Peter Parker."
Because they did this based on my story where he jumped on both sides. So he went to Peter Parker. Then after that he back to
he got go here and then and there. So but then eventually everything got resolved lah. So that Civil War is a very good story. Then when I think back then when they start to hint when the movie came out, like Civil War came out, then I like, oh, is it about the identity thing? But then I also got to think to myself, it's a bit stupid, because everybody know who are you. Right. But then it is a easier concept, I think, for vast audience to understand that we want to control a group of superheroes. Like the government want to control a group of superheroes. And then I think my wife don't like Captain America movies. She find them too real and too boring. She just wants like Thor and his bicep and hit some lightnings lah. But I like Civil War a lot not because of the action scene, but then again, a lot of fans is like, wow, so many heroes appear at one time and they're fighting freaking each other. So it's definitely a spectacle. But it was the one before that when they were peacefully in the Avengers Tower. Then they were arguing about the fact that we need to like Tony Stark say, if we cannot be controlled by a group of government, then we really are no better than the bad guys.
Then the Captain America came in.
But the thing is that the government is controlled by people and people have agenda. But the thing is that it's because I almost said Chris Evans. I'm saying Captain Rogers have that feeling is because his lover started S.H.I.E.L.D. But then Hydra took over S.H.I.E.L.D. So he cannot have full faith in the group of bodies anymore. So that's why he said the famous line but this government is governed by a group of people and people have agenda. Yeah.
I was thinking about that line. I was thinking about that whole scene.
That whole scene I think was very good to explain there is really no right, no wrong.
And his point was actually being introduced on the previous movie, on the previous Captain America movie,
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, where they have this fight against where because the ships itself got taken over or something like that.
Then the heli carriers in Winter Soldier. S.H.I.E.L.D. back then is basically Hydra, and then the heli carriers were taken over, and then there's this this program whereby three heli carriers will go to space or whatever, and then they have enough firepower to just kill anybody that is a threat. But let's just say if you are a racist, that thing you can just wipe out like a bunch of Jews, and that's like Hitler would jerk off to that weapon, right? it's honestly it's like so it's that, and then it's like it's wrong
I've always thought what is the necessary is it a necessary evil that to have the privacy of not getting into because I I look at my previous ideology, right? I'm team.
Do you watch Moon Knight?
No, not yet.
It's the same premise, eh?
It's the same premise.
Yeah. Moon Knight worship this god, the bird one. Khonshu. So Khonshu is like basically a punisher of evil things, right? But then the villain was this crocodile god. I can't remember already. I just remember by the animals. The crocodile god is basically to prejudge evil. Like they will look at you and then you hang your life by a scale, right? If we know you are predestined to be evil, right, you immediately die. So it's like, then where does free will come from? So Moon Knight is the two entities fighting is that lah. So it's like, Khonshu say, at least I punish people until they done the bad things. Then the other side of the argument was, but then it's too late already.
So you have to like, so right now is where
it's a damn mindfuck thought experiment. Think about it. Let's just say you have a son, right? And then I tell you right now, in 20 years' time, I will rape your wife and kill your son. You have a gun in your hand right now. Will you shoot me? It will happen, confirmed.
Then,
but right now, me, I have no intention of fucking your wife and killing your son. Yeah. Will you?
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's the conversation, which is quite cool. Like free will, but then how does it really work? Like predestined things that will happen, and versus the thought of versus like this thing of like free will lah. Yeah. That's why.
So I don't like okay, this is the way. This is just me backtracking just now. Say like okay, like now I appreciate Marvel in the sense where they are able to make these such big ideas into like bite chunk pieces.
Yeah.
To be accepted by their audience members.
Correct. That's why now your issue with Marvel, right, is too screen bitey or whatever.
Yeah.
It's because I think for Phase 4 at least, it's because right, Endgame just over. It's a very heavy topic. Somebody just died. Right? Let's not introduce a event right away. Because for all comic book, it's always like this. Like there's always a reboot, right? Then Spider-Man is back to being Spider-Man again, doing little Spider-Man things. And then they have to build up a story again before another like deal breaker shit happen. Because I think what I know is the upcoming one will be Secret Wars. Like Doctor Doom will happen. That's why there's the multi-dimensional thing. Because basically all the dimensions will have this thing called the incursion. So basically all the different dimensions will die. And then Doctor Doom will drag everybody into one single dimension. Then they fucking like Battle Royale and fight it out like that. Yeah, so but the thing is that now cannot like Captain America just died. Tony Stark just died. So you cannot have like all these things first. But I still have to earn money. I still have to make money.
So right now it's like the relief of the
they cannot put in like too intense of an idea and then people making fun of it.
But then you have like the Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh man.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy, I think because Guardians of the Galaxy, right, happened, I think it's James Gunn. The first one is James Gunn. But then after that, he basically got cancelled because he said some stupid shit on Twitter many years ago, same as Kevin Hart. But I think it's a correct direction for the MCU, right? When it goes to space adventures, right, they make it like wacky and funny. It's because I think honestly, it's because Guardians of the Galaxy 1 happened, whereby it's a space thingy. Everybody is having fun, it's wacky and whatever. Then Taika Waititi can reboot Thor and make Thor Ragnarok, which is honestly out of the three, right? Thor Ragnarok was the best.
I don't know about Thor. Like I don't like the character itself.
The character very stupid, but the movie, like Thor 1, 2, and 3 is the best. Because James Gunn paved it in a way it can be a colourful and wacky space drama. And then when Thor Ragnarok come out, right, it was basically paying homage to Jack Kirby. Okay. Like the whole Sakaar movie, the whole Sakaar home planet, right? It's basically a very well done B movie. It's A class, but it's an A movie budget shot in a very B movie style. But if a book is trying to say basically like wacky characters, right? Wacky filmmakers can make good shit also, as long as they got the money. So, and don't be mistaken, Thor 3 is actually a reboot. It's a reboot. Like, no longer is the space, like, this, like, fish out of water kind of story about Thor already. It's, if you realize, in Thor, right, all the stories is in circles. He's, like, a champion, then he go down, then he defeated, then he learned a new lesson and champion again. Then Thor 2 also the same thing. Then Thor 3 also the same thing. Then Avengers, he got, Endgame, he got fat. Basically, it's the same thing again. Yeah, it's the same thing. So, like, for example, the upcoming Thor 4, right, it's going to be the same thing again. I predict, he's going to come out of Guardians of the Galaxy. He's already fit already. He's already ripped.
I think he will be. He will still be fat at least for the first 20 minutes.
He will just show montage. He got slimmed down. This is how I feel. He's gonna come out of like Guardians. He come out of the Guardians of the Galaxy spaceship. He's already ripped already. Like he already spent his time training already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because then after that, then he go through some weird shit. Then, I think I got a feeling there might be either Thor himself have a hidden child, or
I think
his
they will
father got another
introduce.
child.
They will introduce the big Thor.
Peter Ray Jackson. No. Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah. I think they might start introduce that character in. Like maybe at the end, where because that character is pretty compelling. In nature.
Correct.
So that's what I think. Right. Like they start introduce the character in.
But I can't wait. But that's why I think I think that is the direction they want to go. You know, it's very hard to market. But definitely your takes, right? I understand where they're coming from. Because I think hardcore fans don't like. Yeah, that's why.
I think like there's too many. I think right now is the filler, the
filler session before like real shit happens in another like 5 years time.
It does, but for the MCU phase 1, right, it didn't happen that way. It started off with is it what's the first? Is it does Iron Man come first or the
phase 1?
Phase 1, yeah, the first movie. It's not Iron Man, right?
First one was Iron Man.
Is it Iron Man?
Yes. The first movie of phase 1, not by chronological order lah.
Yeah.
If chronological order, the first movie should be the Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Yeah, because but based on like in real life, the first movie was Iron Man because Marvel Studios want to taupi already, so they get Robert Downey Jr. who is like.
I keep wanting to say Shrek, but it's not Shrek.
It's not Shrek. Shrek is Pixar.
Yeah, it's Pixar.
Yeah, not under Disney yet. Yeah, so the reason was that Jon Favreau just finished, I think, the Space and Cowboys with Daniel Craig, which actually not bad, right? So Marvel was like, you know what, we only got budget left to make one more movie. And then Robert Downey Jr. probably cheaper because he just come out from rehab. He's like a changed man, but then public perception of him still be the drug-taking bad boy or whatever, which is the perfect Tony Stark because Tony Stark have this alcoholism ongoing problem. Then so add him as Iron Man, and don't forget like before Iron Man he did Tropic Thunder.
Oh
yeah, which honestly is very funny. And I think actually as a comic, do you think right now Tropic Thunder, like the black guy thing, you think can do no?
I think cannot.
I'm a dude.
I think cannot. But I have friends who are black, like and love his take on being the black guy. Like the blackface.
Is it because in that movie there is a character constantly like, dude, you're not black, dude, you're not black?
No, it's because they set up Robert Downey Jr. very well. The character of Tropic Thunder, they set up very well in the sense that he is playing a character, on the blackface itself. Like people are like they are poking fun. Like Ben Affleck was poking fun of the idea of a character trying to be so engrossed in his shit that he justified blackface.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for people who are from the, I would say black people from the hood itself. Like okay, like this is
this is a joke.
This is a joke. Like there's a whole much playing to that.
But do you think they can accept because it was set up correctly? The premise was set up correctly.
Yes. Yes.
Which nowadays, even in the movie, if the premise is set up correctly, but people can just like cut off it without context and be like, you know what? Like RDJ did a blackface.
Yes. I think that I think it's harder now to, I wouldn't say cannot. I believe that there'll be some guy who just come up to say, oh, it can be done. Like there'll be someone who just revolutionize everything, or and just do it again. Maybe but not right now at this moment, because I think that it's very risky it's too risky for even if you want to do it, all you can be really small and an independent film maker.
Okay, what do you think? I think a few years back there was rumors that Idris Elba, Idris Elba was going to be the next James Bond. What's your thoughts?
I thought that
I don't agree to it.
I don't agree to it as well.
Yeah, because in the book, if he's white, then let the character be white lah. I say real one. I feel that I think Idris Elba can act like a James Bond character, and I would love to watch that. But he shouldn't be James Bond. He can be a protege lah, like 不要007 then 008啦, you know that kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I also have a issue with like, there are some people saying like, I think what I recently read an article like there was a movie. I think Silver Linings Playbook or Dallas Buyers Club, right? Like this guy, he's gay, then he got AIDS, then he started Dallas Buyers Club, but he said that movie cannot be made now because people were upset. Why don't you let a gay actor act as a gay character?
I am at this point in time and just saying it's acting. It is their job. You have to play a character.
Like a Danish girl, then Eddie Redmayne basically act as a trans, right? Then I think nowadays they will say like, why don't you let a trans actor act as trans?
I think it makes sense in a way where if you're just trying to do like a research to it, like if you don't, I will look at the piece as by itself. Yeah, like does it make sense to like for that character, or like does the whole movie character make sense by itself? If it's played by a person who has not been through that turmoil or something that's similar, and play that character, you can feel it one. You can you can feel the character one. It just don't fit. Like that guy has not gone through enough.
It's like the female Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
It's like, dude. It's like, I don't, how to say it's not about like being politically correct. I think it's really about like the merit of the character that you love. If the character that you love is in a specific race and gender, then even if you want to reboot it, just keep it to a specific race and gender lah.
If you take out that character essence by itself, right? To me, if you take out the character essence by itself, right? Take out you just strip everything down. Does that add any value to that character? Do I make sense?
Like if I take away the essence of, let's just say, Dumbledore, right?
Yeah.
I took it out. And then I replace it with a black guy that can pursue.
Okay, so let's just say you take away, you take the character, you take the guy who plays that character out.
Yeah.
And you replace with Morgan Freeman.
Oh, I think Morgan Freeman will be a great Dumbledore. Yeah.
I don't think so. Yeah.
You don't think so?
I don't.
But that would be like the essence of the character, good or not.
Yeah.
So my Idris Elba one.
I don't think Idris Elba will make a good James Bond because he may make a good James Bond, like I say, protege. He may make a new James Bond, but he's not going to be a good James Bond.
Okay, I think I would like to clarify again. I think Morgan Freeman will make a great Dumbledore, but in my head, Dumbledore is not even Jude Law. Dumbledore is like this. It's like Gandalf, but different fantasy. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's basically an old white man with scraggly beard lah.
But but he doesn't have the. I don't think he. I think that yes, Morgan Freeman can play
Dumbledore.
an authority figure,
True.
but he cannot play as good of a fatherly figure as Dumbledore would require to be with Harry Potter, or grandfatherly figure.
I wouldn't say Dumbledore is fatherly.
Or grandfatherly.
I think Dumbledore, if to say real one, Dumbledore is not remotely parenty. It's just eccentric and weird. It's like, to be frank, to be frank, from the Deadly Hallows, Half-Blood Prince all the way to Deadly Hallows, like his character motivation damn weird.
Oh, I'm talking about the first few characters.
If you want to be like, if you want to be like the weird, eccentric but wise school principal, I think Morgan Freeman can. Yeah, if the essence of that character is that Yeah, but it's just it's an uphill challenge, or it's an uphill fight whereby you have to fight against all these kind of people saying like, you do like Dumbledore is supposed to be white.
Yeah lah.
I think what best to happen now is maybe stop rebooting old shit. Then start recreating new shit that has diversity inside, so that like writers, if you write your books, right, then you already have this diverse thing inside already. Then let people act it out.
They try to make. I think they try to add a little.
I do feel a bit tired. Like all the new movie nowadays is rebooting old shit. That's why Stranger Things is so good to me. I don't know.
It's paying homage. I think. Stranger
do you
Things.
think
like you're giving respect. You're creating new shit, but you're also homaging. Like there's respect towards. So
the 80s and the
yeah. So I think that you paying homage is good, but because you're creating an original idea.
But why nobody paying homage to our time? Like, have you seen a sensational movie whereby a student now have to go up to the bus but then put the card in and then tap the correct fare?
No, man. Yeah. I think we're still too current.
Yeah, because to say the truth, for example, let's just say Taiwan movies, right? That paying homage to the time was there's this movie called 那些年我们一起追的女孩, right? It was paying homage to the early 90s of Taiwan, right? Then when I finished watching the movie, right, it was a nice movie. But then when I think about it, right, like how come Singapore don't have a movie that's like that? I mean, Jack Neo did long time ago lah, but the long time really fucking long time ago. Like my parents' time. Then even moved to the early 90s or also like.
But what's the essence for like what? How would you classify classify our characters from the 19? Or how would you classify the society by itself for in the early 2000s?
Early 2000s
to late 1990s to early 2000s, maybe 2010s, like the whole like.
So we definitely have to talk about the transition from pages to mobile. As in the point whereby like when we have the Nokia, the 3210, that kind of Nokia already, right? But then still got pager. Then after that start to come up with all the the Nokia gaming phones, the Engage, which is a piece of shit anyway. Then we have to talk about that. We have to talk about the transition of like from Discman to MP3 players. Then means it's pre-iPhone. Like I have a disappointing sad story. My mother used to say, if my PSLE got more than 200 points, right, she'll get me anything I want. I asked for a Game Boy. She gave me a Discman. Yeah, it's a Discman. It's about as big as my palm back then when I was a school child. But it's blue in color. The blue mat and then a W, chrome W Discman. Then I didn't have a lot of CDs back then, but my auntie gave me like the top 10 disco CD. Then when I play, right, the first song is Mambo Number 5. Yeah. So
I can understand why we're not as into the audio as much as.
Yeah. No, but back then I was listening. Oh, this song is nice. Then after that, then you start to learn about our time. The early 2000s or late 1990s to early 2000s is burning CDs.
But what do you boil down the essence of this society by? Because when you're paying homage, right? When you're paying homage to or paying homage,
things are not as I will say things are not as convenient as now. But it was the joy of like doing those inconvenient things with friends that matters. Like, hey bro, you wanna come my house burn CD? No? Serious man, you wanna come my house burn CD? No? Then no joke, like my friend is like, yeah, I downloaded this new porn video. Then 4 guys go and watch porn in the TV, and then all go to arcade, all go to the LAN shop together and then play Dota, play Ragnarok online. It's the inconvenience on doing those things. Back then, in order to play one initial D game, right, I will go all the way to Dhoby God as kids, just because the arcade cheaper, right? Then you take the train to go all the way there. Then you play Dota with your friends. And then back then you don't have Grab. So when you wait for cab with your friends, right, you wait at the side of the road together like that. Then, 你先 or you go ask you ask the uncle, like, uncle, they catch it A, B, C 在 D 吗? That kind. So to point out is that it's inconvenient, but then you, if you have friends to do it together with you, it's actually quite fun. Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about, like, if you want to pay homage, right? Like there's a certain element of that society. It's
I feel certain like key images you want to see, right? Yeah, for me, I want to see the this man. I want to see the this man. Then after that, slowly become like, the phone start to get a little bit smarter. Then everybody, like, at least in my secondary school time, is you are a cool kid if you have a Razer phone, the Motorola Razer.
The flip phone.
Yeah, either you have that Razer or you have the Sony Ericsson Walkman phones. Then you have a Bluetooth. Jenny's mom. Is it Jenny's mom? No.
No, Stacy's mom.
Stacy's mom. Can you Bluetooth me Stacy's mom? The Click 5 was a big thing back then. Jenny was a song. Jenny and then Stacy's mom. All these. Then you can like, how to say, like Bluetooth each other.
Not Bluetooth. Infrared.
Infrared. Infrared like that.
Then after that you get broken apart and you go, what the hell was that?
Correct. And then back then, there's this big thing. I keep telling my friends, back then arcade was a real arcade. Nowadays arcade is basically children casino. Like I with every fiber of my being hate the fact that our arcade nowadays is basically casino but for children.
I have not stepped into the video arcade for a very long time.
You pay money, right? You pay money for a machine that possibly with correct skills or by luck generate more tickets to redeem something, to win something. Between that and going to a casino, you put $5 bet, maybe you win back another $5 bet. What's the difference? Then you see there is the coin machine, the push one. Last time only casino have one. 讲真的, you go cruise. Last time only casino have that thing where you put the chip, then more chip will come down. Then the fucking fishing thing. Then you see no kids play one. It's all the old people sit down there with a bunch of coins, then catching fucking virtual fishes. And these are the same people that copy when we have Tamagotchi. See, why you catch Pokemon, why you catch virtual thing, then you fucking sit in front of the LCD screen, catch stupid fish.
I don't understand the game at all. Like I
think you redeem coins, and then those coins that you redeem, right? Like you accumulate points and you can exchange for something. But the things in the arcade, like what can make you want to 换? Back then, I think arcade was about playing games that either can copy each other, get high, like get
I remember
get high scores. You play, be the legendary guy who played Resident Evil 4 with 1 credit. Then you take 2 guns, then you do the thing.
I remember like Street Fighter is the thing.
You have like Street Fighter competition and events like that. A short, maybe a small winnings of like, maybe you win this thing, right? You get like a $100 voucher, that kind of thing. Then you make people come down and watch, and then actual skills can be honed rather than you sit down with your fat ass and fucking catch fish.
But is it because of that? Because of the consoles, PlayStation consoles, Xbox console. That's why it got like the whole video arcade have to like, okay, look, I can't do that.
I guess so, but I don't know. As a gamer, honestly, it's more fun to play together with friends. There's a reason why my gaming table so long. It's like my friends can be like, you know what, you all bring your laptop, we can play Dota together. That kind of thing. It's like, it's the fact that you can scream and shout at each other in presence of others. Like I'm the kind of person, right? Like when we play Dota in-house competition, like 5 table, then I will like play. Then I'll stand up and, hey, fuck your mother. Yeah, I was like that one. Then I say, I was like, want to stun me? Like, you can taunt people. That is the like competitive games. Yeah, competitive games like that is the best in the arcade. Then there's hype, that like all the different games, right? Portray different skills. Like at one end you have all the music games. Right? Then at one end got all the para sakura games. Then you got racing games. Then you got shooting games. You got Street Fighters. All the different console. Then people with their own niche, like own different skill sets that they want to hold on can go. Yeah, and I think that is fun.
I have a horror stories. I have a horror story with my with my grandmother.
With your grandmother?
With my grandmother. So when I was younger, when I go to video arcade store, I usually go for either racing, if not the Street Fighter. Then my grandmother was down there, was screaming at me and just go like, why you keep doing this? Like because I did not play those games that you can redeem coupons. Like the basketball one. So I have this story where she just keeps screaming at me and like because my sister chose to play games that you can redeem things, right?
Yeah.
And
because there's a value that can be
there's a
taken
tangible
back.
value, yes. So I got screamed at because I remember I was like 10 years old or 11 years old. I was playing and my grandmother was just screaming at me and I'm on the verge of crying while trying to finish the initiative.
Yeah, it's because the thing is that the value cannot be seen.
Yeah.
But it's intrinsic because you know that you have won somebody.
Yeah.
Meaning that at least for me, it's like when I play those games, right, it's like, hey, I'm not that useless after all. Like there are things whereby I can I think for a lot of students back then when they play arcade, why it's because they feel like a winner. Because maybe they are failing at school. But if they were to take effort in games, and there is a proper support system for people playing games. For example, if we were to play even freaking Maple Story, right? They'll be like, hey, this trash, there is this benchmark that I want to hit. Then there will be people that will be there to help you, to teach you like, oh, you actually can do this, can do that, can do this, can do that. And then you practice, and then you hit that benchmark. You feel that is, I won't even say dopamine, but it's this sense of accomplishment that, hey, you know what? I am actually good at something. And I think this is what, if done in the right way, right, games help with people. Yeah, that's why it's such a great escape. That's why I'm 31-year-old man, right? I still will want to play Dota. Well, I want to play games. I play Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. It's because it gives me a sense of accomplishment that, hey, you know what? I'm good at something. And it gives me this bravery, you know what? I can handle my shitty boss at the end of the next day. Yeah.
I would like to end with that.
Yeah.
So with that, thank you very much for doing this.
Hey, thanks. This is my first podcast. It's fun.
Yeah. It's fun. It's an hour 20.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like I like this conversation.
Yeah, I love it too.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for doing this again.
Thank you.